Tier 2 between Team Falcons and 4MERICAL Esports, where the pressure going to be on the latter now that they are one game down. And we can see 4MERICAL going to be on the blue side, Falcons on the red.
First things first, get rid of marksmen. I'm seeing Bruno once again. I'm also seeing Wanwan this time, something that 4MERICAL hasn't particularly liked in the past. More importantly so, we're seeing that 4MERICAL is taking blue side and Falcon is taking the red. So that means that first pick is going to be pretty important for 4MERICAL.
Well, 4MERICAL is actually having that 1-1 ban for the second time in a row. So maybe Lotrick has like something underneath. I don't know, his expertise in meta, because I haven't seen him play that much with the 1-1. He's most known for Brody, Beatrix, even the Bruno. But seeing that 1-1 is a prioritized pick, for, a prioritized ban for Team 4MERICAL, maybe it's just the meta bans. Because as I said earlier, for me, ban phase or like big phase is divided into 3 different sections. Whether it is a meta pick, it's something that's commonly used currently, or it is a target ban for a certain person or a certain hero, a person or a role, or it might be just you cannot deal with such pick.
Ooh, is it? I'm thinking whether there's a hero that's falling into that third category. What about you, Staffa?
Hero that's hard to deal with. Well, the Nolan was that. Honestly, you're not wrong, DJ. He's not the first person to have said that. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to when Arashi's on table so we can have direct comparison.
Wait, dude,
someone said it before me?
Well, yeah, kind of, sort of.
It's been said before.
Yeah, it's been said before. It's not direct, but it has been said before. It's still very funny, though. Now, coming back to the bans, I see the Valentina, I see the Matilda. Once again, these are very meta picks. Makes a lot of sense, but the fact that 4MERICAL is banning out the Valentina compared to Falcon last time, who let it through, it seems a little surprising because Valentina is one of those really safe opening picks for blue side.
Well, I think that 4MERICAL says also something really. In my head, I heard it when I saw that Matilda pick. It was my head, yeah, Matilda, you shall not pass. This is the second time Matilda is in the ban list for Team 4MERICAL, and after they have seen what Goodnight can do with the Valentina, which I didn't intentionally not mention it. Okay.
Yeah.
And they took the Faramis. I don't know. I wonder what is the third pick.
Suspicious indeed. No, I think that this is a pretty common practice, right? Especially if you are going to play like a high impact mid laner with such a key ability. It's great banning out that Valentina, right? But Joy has been let through, and we've seen Leo play this before. It can still get flexed into the EXP, but on top of an enabler like Angela, this could be a very devastating early game.
Yeah, already Falcons have a pretty obvious start to the game. I actually thought they might go like Angela Baxia here, but the Joy definitely slipped my mind overall. We'll see whether or not 4MERICAL will grab the tank roamers here to really knock that down. The things like Franco gonna be obvious, but the Kaja going to be their choice instead, alongside the Baxia. I get the feeling we're gonna see the 4MERICAL players go back to the roles they're more known for.
Ooh, this one's a tough one. This one is going to be a tough one because if we're talking comparatively of these first 3 picks, clearly 4MERICAL have the upper hand, right? They've got the suppression, they've got kill denial, and most importantly, they have a tank that can chase down the Joy if it goes into the jungle. Big ifs all across the board, but it's looking very good.
It is looking very good for Team 4MERICAL because they have that suppression hero. They also have the anti-heal, which is basically what counters what certain region calls the hospital with a certain region.
It's us. Yeah. There's no spoil. We call it the hospital meta. Look, Flask of Oasis was a problem until they nerfed it, but up until then, please continue.
Yeah, sure. So Angela's actually quite an impressive pick. Whenever she is there, she always have that effect. Maybe she will save you, but maybe she will make you more aggressive. So I don't know which aspect Falcons is gonna look through, or like which aspect will they go from and execute with that Angela pick. So I say that it's enough magical damage because you have an Angela, Joy, and also Helilia. I don't think. Oh wait, there's something. Should I say it now, or should I save it for later?
Make a hard prediction.
Joy will go for Hulk because he's known for his Joy XP. And Leo will take another different jungle. I hope they cannot hear me. Can 4MERICAL hear me?
No, they can't hear you.
Yeah,
The
really?
headsets that they're wearing right now, these are heavy-duty things.
Okay.
They're almost like isolation chambers for just your ears. But I get where you're trying to come from here. Flex
Okay.
big into that Joy, and then they're probably going to go for
And
something else.
he is popular with it.
He is popular with it, but what is going to be that jungle pick, that go-to? Because it feels like 4MERICAL are kind of like sniffing me out. They're like, all right, let's get rid of the Fredrin first. That's, you know, good starters all across the board. But then his hero pool, like we mentioned right at the beginning of the show, it's huge.
Could be something like the Akai that they have to respect here. I think
Uh-huh.
it will work very well into the Baxia, into the Nether Realm. Even kind of counters the Kaja to a certain extent. So if they're going to flex the Joy here, that's probably the hero they want.
I wonder why did they ban a jungler after what I said.
All right.
Something
I
sus.
guarantee you they can't hear anything.
Okay. So actually, after seeing that Fredrin, I think that they are also doing the same thing. They think that, okay, so Joy might be a flex pick, and it might go to the XP lane. And what will be more annoying than a Joy with an Angela is a utility hero, someone who can take a lot of hits and yet survives, which is like as Sadafa said, a Kai, maybe a Fredrin, maybe you can see something else that can take a lot of damage.
Well,
There's the
find out
Martis too.
here. What's it going to be? Are they going to play more early game orientated? I'm hearing a Yutsong pick voice line, but it's not confirmed just yet. Oh, and even another one. I'm guessing that's Claude.
I'm wondering if we're gonna see Yahiko's Leslie that we were talking about earlier as well, right? Late game potential, if we do see like the Claude come out of Lotric, it would be a pretty good counter as well against all the squishy heroes. But I do wonder.
A quick prediction, or like a quick, not spoiler, but whenever I see that Angela is picked and the marksman is not yet there, I always expect to either see Earthel or Claude.
Irithel or a
Or a Claude with the Angela.
With the Angela. I mean, those are the usual go-tos. High
True.
mobility marksmen that are able to close the distance super, super quick. And then after that, with the extra sustain, it becomes even better. For those of you who are not sure what the final couple of picks are, it's going to be Esmeralda and Claude for the side of 4MERICAL. And topping it off for Falcon, it's going to be Yuzong as well as the Brody. So no switch around in the jungle, just pure lane dominance.
Oh. Actually, it's a really good pick, that Esmeralda. It counters so much because Team Falcons are relying on shield-wise heroes because Joy also have like its own passive. She can pop up some shields, and Angela will add some shields. So maybe they will taste a little bit of their own medicine.
Potentially, let's see as we go into the Land of Dawn.
I'm liking the drafts here. Team Falcons have already taken flight in game number 1. Will 4MERICAL Esports show us something magical as we enter the Land of Dawn for the second time this series?
It's going to be 4MERICAL on the blue side up against Falcon on the red. It's going to be an orange start for Lunatic Panda. Leo going to be starting on his purple buff. Lotric getting chunked out very early on. It looks like, at least for 4MERICAL, they've been doing their homework a lot. They do recognize these pathways.
Well, for Team Falcons, I don't know if they are overconfident because I would like to look. It's not just about Team Falcons, but there's something I hate generally when I watch games. If you are overconfident and you get punished for it, I'm saying it inside my head. You deserve it. You deserve to lose.
You make your bed, you sleep in it, am I right? That's how the proverb usually goes. But looking at that top side, first Lethal Wanderer going to be taken away by Leo there. Okay, forcing out the Retri at the very least. He's going to be a little bit behind the EXP for a simple POI in the river. Not that big of a deal. I'm more curious about how this lane, specifically for Esmeralda, is going to go. Because right now, Yuzong, one of the best EXP laners to date.
Leo diving real deep. He's already level 4 as compared to 3 on Lunatic Panda. So even though Baxia should have the advantage, it's going to be Leo that gets the steal.
Well, Leo gets the steal, and actually when a jungler gets ahead in terms of the XP, that means that when it comes to retribution battles, when it comes to objectives and neutral objectives battles, they will have the upper hand. So far, he's doing really good with that Joy, but what's going on in top lane?
Hybrid gets caught in the Petrify knockup combo. The rest of Team Falcons is here, but for some reason just don't dive the low health Esmeralda. they're going to give that up in exchange for contesting the turtle.
I mean, they've denied her level 4, and more importantly, they can actually extend their lead if they just take the turtle. I think it's a good decision, but the real question is whether Lunatic Panda wins out this 50-50. It won't be easy, so Super is going to make the difference.
Hulk pops the Black Dragon form. They get the puppet on string on Lunatic Panda, so he's actually forced to back off. Already 50%. Free turtle goes to Team Falcons. And even the gold lane, we can see that Lotric is winning against Yahiko.
Yeah, he is having a rough time, despite actually chunking out Lotric very early on, level 1.
Well, there's a question here. Do you think that Team Falcons got under the skin of Team 4MERICAL?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think especially after game 1 for Miracle, in their minds, I'm guessing like we are going to have to win game number 2.
But they did really great, so they shouldn't pull back that much. I think that they can do something, they can go for more aggressive approaches because they have a tanky hero in the jungle, they have that Baxi, and also they have a suppression hero, and not just that, they have the farmers to engage and disengage and create second opportunities.
I mean, they do, but I think they're going to be, considering that this is going to be Coach Amok's, his overall philosophy, it's going to be about these objectives, right? You don't need to fight if there is no way to kind of capitalize on it, or better yet, find an opportunity to extend that lead. And I think right now, Team Falcons are doing that just a little bit better. And for Miracle, they're just biding their time because technically they're not losing too much other than 1 or 2 jungle camps over to Lunatic's Panda.
Yeah, it's not the most ideal because when you have a Baxi at jungle, you expect them to be the ones on the aggression, but having a Claude and Esmeralda side lane means that their overall map presence is going to be weaker early on. So it's kind of a weird synergy, but as long as they don't fall too behind, Leo jumping in onto Lunatic Panda, gonna pop the electrifying beats. No casualties here. Interesting engage.
They back away, and again, just stealing camps, because right now Team Falcons are not creating any leads in the side lanes. They're just going to let the bullies do their work and continue to kind of put Lunatic Panda in a more and more devastating situation. Because if Leo has a level lead on his opponent jungler, that means those retributions don't become a 50-50 anymore. It should be a guaranteed secure.
Well, I mentioned in the last game that we are creating new records here. Like anything that will happen will be a record because this is the first edition of Wildcard. So far, 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the game, there is no first bloods.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're right. That actually hasn't occurred just yet. Let's see. Might just change now.
Hybrid walking into the backline, doing some good damage. Black Dragon form popped by Hulk as well. Turtle dropping low. Hulk somehow secures it for Team Falcon. Here comes the Heart Guard on top of the Yuzong. It's a 2-man petrifying knockout. First blood is finally achieved. It's going to be the fair miss, and Lunatic Panda will follow in quick fashion. 2 kills secured for the Falcons.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. After everything and even a commitment with retribution. Wait, does Ayuko die here? Yeah, he's dead.
He's dead. Beautifully done by Lotric. Clock way too late to do anything about it.
Well, actually, when I just saw Super playing with Hulk, I can only remember some really good memories for Mena is that these two have been together since the beginning because they played for Occupy Thrones and they went to the M4 and again they played in the MPL Mena together in another under another team's name, and now they are here playing again on an international stage. So the amount of synergy these both have is quite a lot compared to a lot of, like, let's say 2 players together in Mina.
Okay. So if there was a 2v2 tournament, it's over for everybody else. Clearly, they have the better chemistry.
Yeah, they have a really good link together. So at some points, I don't think that they actually need to communicate.
Hybrid in trouble, walks into a brush with 4 members, but gonna pop that sprint, get out safely. Conceal used by Clock to try and return to the lane for some reason, but he's actually forced to use Flicker as well because the Team Falcons are still right there.
Man, that was definitely a... Do you want to shut down this tower? Yes? No. Are you sure?
Please?
He walks back in, and this is why you can definitely see that this is a younger region. Like, again, for Miracle, they don't want to let that tower go, but in some situations, you just have to.
Yeah, sometimes you have to give up something in return of using, let's say, I'm not going to say objective because there's not so much objectives that Team 4MERICAL can now contest, but at least do something on the opposite side of the map, use the time wisely, find solutions, whether it was like like solo solutions or even team-related solutions. So figure out what's wrong, what's happening wrong inside your team, and try to fix it before it's too late. Because Team Falcons, if they like made a second sweep here, it will be a one-sided game.
Yeah, it could be a very one-sided game, and even for FALCONS, again, very, very passive this time around, right? Not really forcing it. They had an opportunity on top side when they had 3 members, as well as the Gaja ult. I mean, that Divine Judgment could have put down someone like Hulk, and he's not incredibly strong. He's strong, but he's not overbearing.
Yeah, they're definitely respecting the network difference, but here comes the Heart Guard Black Dragon here. Maybe a little bit too early, because this is not an opportunity for FALCONS to really engage on. So FALCONS Esports, not going to take too much damage from that.
Well, his name is Hulk after all, so he can take a lot of damage.
We'll see. We'll see.
And he wears green.
See. He does wear green.
He's pretty incredible.
Yeah, he's also jacked. Like, he's 8 foot tall in real life. The tables and chairs, and thanks to Secret Lab, he looks even bigger than ever. But now, 66 seconds left on the clock. We're already seeing that tier 1s have started to collapse, and more
Leo forces out the Nether Realm. Xerox dropping load. His ult not gonna save him from the electrifying beats, as FALCONS is now taking the fight to their opponents, not giving them the chance to play passive.
Dies with his flicker, and even with the ult, I think he was confident that his ult was going to get him out of there, but no, Team FALCONS, they're really putting their foot on the gas.
Yeah, they are just taking turret after turret. They are just taking objective after objective, a kill after a kill, and that was that's actually the inevitable result from what's happening. Because 4MERICAL is not even trying at this moment. I don't know if they are betting on the late game or not, but let's take a fast look, or like a quick look at on the itemization. So far 6.5k for the Brody, and he already have the items he needs to deal a lot of damage. He's almost around to get his 3rd item, while the Claude is not even near that golden staff that he needs to deal a lot of damage, especially to the tanky heroes on the side of Team FALCONS.
Here comes Chloe. They get the initial pull, and Black Shoes immediately out. Like, Team FALCONS are taking absolutely everything away from 4MERICAL, and we're not seeing much of a retaliation back, despite all the tools that they have at their disposal. And I think a lot of it is due to whether or not the Heart Guard has been used. I think that's what 4MERICAL Esports is waiting for.
It feels a bit risky, though, to try and wait for that cooldown, because every single time FALCONS are just going to teeter it in front of their eyes here. Even Goodnight alone is already treading Lunatic Panda, forcing the Retry out way too early. Yahiko going for the split push, but Hulk has spotted him out, and he is completely isolated. I don't think he's gonna get out of this one. He pops that sprint, pops back. Oh, beautiful BMI, torn apart memory, not enough to finish him off. Leo trying to chase him down. Yahiko, though, making a hero run. He may be able to escape. Where is his team? They gotta back him up. Actually, Hybrid buying some time. Yahiko gets out of that.
Yeah, it looks like Yahiko's family never left the Land of Dawn since game number 1. He's still split pushing, even on a marksman, like he's supposed to. And honestly, gaining a good amount of space for his team to slow down Team FALCONS from taking the initiative.
Yeah, actually, I think that Team FALCONS at a certain point made it personal with Yahiko. They kept on chasing him down. Now he's not a hard like he's not a hard pick
Leo
to get
from the
out.
backline, Nether Realm, not gonna be enough. But good night, though. Actually, the one punished in exchange for Xerox. Mid for mid in exchange for the mid tier 2. Team FALCONS looking to break down an inhibitor. They got the Lord pushing up top lane.
Wait.
This is gonna be a 4v4 situation. Black Dragon form comes out. Inhibitor dropping real low. Instantly taken down by Team FALCONS. Will they choose to back off right now? Xerox gonna be coming back alive very soon, and the Lord has already been broken out. Leo, though, actually still diving. Nether Realm used perhaps a little bit early, and the FALCONS will be satisfied with that.
Right. A moment for them to breathe. At the very least, we're seeing that 4MERICAL is trying to use their abilities now, and very actively, at least for Clock, right? Finding that pick onto Goodnight, that's already a big +1. We need to see that more times, and we were hoping to see that more times in the earlier stages. But now that we're at this point, right? 6.7, it's not like it's impossible to win the game. It's just that recovering just takes one big fight, and it's got to be a good one. It's got to be like 4 kills, maybe even 5 kills.
Well, 4MERICAL seems to me like they are running out of time. because the odds doesn't look good towards them. But again, I'm gonna tell you, he does have his golden staff. He will deal a good amount of damage. But on the other hand, I think that there's a winter of nature that's gonna pop off for the Brody, so he will be already immune to it soon enough. But looking at the itemization of all the teams, what is interesting? Okay, 2 roam again with the Lilia. So good night, like he loves to do that double room thing alongside with the Swiss Trooper. And in the side of team 4MERICAL again, they go with the basic and they go with the standard itemization. So anti-heal for the XP laner. Also, like Esmeralda, of course, wants to spam her first and second skills. She keeps on building that shield up and she keeps on annoying that backline heroes. So for Team 4MERICAL so far, I think that they might do something, but they just need, I'm not going to say a miracle, but they need someone to step up and to take someone out. And especially in that case, I think they already have the solution, the Kaja.
They need to catch Leo off like they did before, but it looks like 4MERICAL are not going to contest this upcoming Lord, and now they're just going to go to bounce side.
Yeah, but looks like Lunatic Panda is going to be the one caught out by himself. They'll slowly whittle the Baxia down, and 4MERICAL, unfortunately, not even going to be able to trade a tower for his life.
What did they take in return again, Gideon?
Yeah, not much here. They didn't even get the tower, unfortunately. Ended up losing a pick of their own. It's not looking good right now as Team Falcons looking to close out in this game. A very similar position that we saw in game number 1, but hopefully this time it's going to be a quick shutdown.
Team Falcons are actually right now playing mind games. That recalls that are happening. Oh, what is that?
Flicker is the Divine Judgment, but the Black Shoes at the last minute. Good night denies 4MERICAL's potentially final attempt. Black Dragon form catches out Clock, doing some damage, forces out the Nether Realm. But Leo actually gets caught out, dives too deep, and now the Blazing Duet is doing a lot of damage. Good night has been picked off, and Hybrid is zoning out the rest of Team Falcons. We're seeing a repeat of game 1. The Lord is gone, and 4MERICAL are back at it.
Well, maybe, just maybe, it is bedtime for Team 4MERICAL. If Good Night wins, maybe they just ran out of time and it's Good Night time.
They found Yahiko. Divine Judgment is way too late from Clock. He loses his gold laner. Here comes Hybrid from the back line. Instantly punished. Not going to be able to regen enough from that Heart Guard. Team Falcons instantly reversing things.
Oh, right now, I mean, they put a big target on Good Night's head, and Team Falcon were not happy with it at all. With 2 members down, this might just be it. They continue to push forward, but with no minions, they have no way to crack down on this crystal.
Well, the base is wide open for Team Falcons to take. There's no inhibitor turret whatsoever. There's no turret anywhere on the grounds of Team 4MERICAL, because right now they will struggle a little bit because they were already struggling since the early game, and they are playing super defensive, which actually makes sense because they don't have any advantage so far since the early game. They didn't use the picks. As I told you, they can make an aggressive gameplay in early game, and also they can use that Team Falcon might they have overconfidence, maybe it might be the right term, but Team Falcons seems to punish Team 4MERICAL for being so defensive and playing so passive.
Exactly. Hopefully it doesn't come to a point where it kind of gets to their heads, right? You know, you're expecting them to be passive, and then all of a sudden Clock comes up with that flicker play again onto another target. I mean, tough boot diff coming up from Good Night at least to be able to get out of a really sticky situation with the help of the Heart Guard, but I think this can only happen a couple more times, right? 42k mark being hit by 4MERICAL, which means that their carries generally are going to be full build. People on the side of, like, Yahiko, for an example, should probably already be completing his final item.
Well, Team Falcons will regret if they didn't finish soon enough. They will regret not finishing soon, because Team 4MERICAL's team fight is actually terrifying. They can take whoever they want with that Kaja, and they can deal a huge amount of damage with that Blazing Duet that will come from that itemization. As you said, they will have enough farm for Yahiko to do damage.
Did they spot Lunatic Panda on the top side?
Yeah, now
they know
now. They did.
The Lord is dropping low, but I think the team will have a gentleman's agreement to just reset it here. The setup was good from FALCONS, but both teams actually avoid each other's ambushes. So we're gonna restart the Lord Dance. Note though, minion wave down bottom, pushing in favor of Team FALCONS, and they know it. That's why they're gonna start rushing the Lord down pretty quickly and holding it there, taunting their opponents.
Oh, making sure that it's like at 40% HP. Very, very smart. Look at how big that bot wave is. They have to send somebody down. Oh, they unfortunately reset it now, and now they have to do it all over again.
But after seeing that Esmeralda's on the bot lane, maybe they will start an team fight, and actually there is a team fight.
Yep, their eyes are on Lunatic Panda. They're looking for him. Electrifying beats used kind of early here as Hulk actually gonna get dodged out. Nether Realm clock flickers out to safety. They get the shutdown onto Hulk. Yahiko gonna punish them. Gets the double kill onto Leo. Lotric pops his Wind of Nature, forced the flicker. Even with the Heart Guard, the damage from Yahiko is starting to become a threat. The Team FALCONS. Good night, threatening hybrid, dropping him real low, but not enough to finish him off as FALCONS Esports are able to back off with 4 members alive.
So, about the rock, paper, scissors theory earlier, right? It feels like the opposite is kind of occurred.
A little bit.
It feels like FALCONS Esports are playing like, you know, a flat piece of paper, right? Waiting for something to fall into it and then wrap it up as soon as it gets too close. And they might be able to rush it because Team FALCONS just want to fight.
Lord dropping real low, hybrid, scouting out, keeping eyes on things. Lunatic Panda will secure the Lord. And Goodnight forced to use Black Shoes as well. The Blazing Duet starting to become a problem. Could this be the start of the comeback for FALCONS?
That's what I was talking about early at the early game. Team FALCONS, maybe they are overconfident, and maybe with that like recalls and saying like, yeah, we are here to take it all out. We will just like take a full sweep. That's when they get punished. When they don't like use, when they don't get the best out of it, when they are on the top, they will not be forgiven when they make a mistake, and the mistake have been already done and have been already committed, and Team FALCONS will now deal with the consequences of this mistake, because right now Team FALCONS has the chance to end this up and send Team FALCONS to the third game, and maybe it's good night for good night this game.
Oh, I can't wait for the post-game analysis just to see maybe the gold graph to get a good idea of when the taunt happened and how much money did they lose after. FALCONS doing a great job. They've taken pretty much a good majority of the outer turrets on top as well as the mid lane while slowing down that bot side, because Hybrid, I mean, Esme, not exactly known for the greatest wave clear in the world.
But it's still going to be enough. This is the stage of the game which is scariest for the side of Team FALCONS, because you have a late game Claude and Esmeralda to deal with. Most importantly, FALCONS have to actually make some macro play here. They have all the tools necessary, and if so, could definitely outperform FALCONS even with the structural disadvantage. But they do find a Divine Judgment here. That's going to be a Winter Turn onto Goodnight, keeping him alive, but not for long. They get the kill. NetherRealm comes out as well, but Leo! He finds Yahiko in the back line, and now FALCONS Esports is falling apart. Team FALCONS running them down. Hybrid trying to buy as much space as possible, but instantly bursted, and Xerox realizing I should not be here right now, flickering to safety. Only 2 members alive for FALCONS. FALCONS could end this.
Yeah, this is not exactly the best position to be in. I mean, FALCONS, they found the right opportunity to actually capitalize on the aggression coming in from Clock. Again, this is his 3rd attempt trying to be aggressive.
Will he finish?
We're diving in. Lunatic Panda pops Immortality instantly. Leo destroying Xerox in the backline. That's a killing spree for the Joy. He knows that his job is done, but there's no minions. Xerox has actually respawned because the fan is passive. Is it going to be enough? NetherRealm popped out. They're working on the Crystal. FALCONS has victory in their sights, and they will achieve it. A 2-0 clean sweep for Team FALCONS.
GG, well played for Team FALCONS. They're going to be walking, well, they're going to be heading back to their hotels today. Very happy with the 2-0 victory here in the groups. And I mean, literally, good night.
Yeah, they will have a good night, that's for sure. But about Team FALCONS, they have done really great. I'm not gonna say and then like into the itemization phase or even at certain points of the game. Or actually, I'm gonna point out one moment in the game where they actually sparked, when they actually clicked. The last moment when they had that Joy down and they used the best out of it, they got the Lord and they got to get so much turrets, and it looks so threatening to Team FALCONS.
It is threatening, but I think both Team Falcon and as well as 4MERICAL are good at two very different things. And I think certain decisions, certain situations, some teams are better than others at kind of judging it based on their experience.
So you cannot combine both.
Well, you can combine both, especially since I've been looking at a couple of M series, and usually the winning team and usually the grand champions know how to do both. So it's interesting to see the duality of man in this case.
What is interesting to me is the fact that both these teams have actually evolved quite a bit from the research that we've done from their respective qualifying finals to get to the wildcard stage, right? The aggressive team trying to pull it back a little bit, play more disciplined, and then the slower, more calculative team getting the confidence necessary to push in, to threaten their opponents and really pressure out the game. And we're seeing the results of that here. The rock, paper, scissors matchup definitely went complete opposite.
And that's why the drafting phase is so important, why a lot of organizations across the world are investing time and effort to find the right guy to turn their team into something more. And some people find it, others don't.
Did I miss saying that Goodnight is a one global Lilia?
Is a number one global Lilia?
Did I miss that?
You may have not.
may
It would have been a good mention earlier.
Would have been good to know.
Very good to know indeed. But honestly, with the way that the game is happening, I was most concerned that this was going to be another long, drawn-out series, that 4MERICAL might have been able to actually clutch out the next 3 Lord fights and might really put Falcon in an awkward spot.
But actually, Team 4MERICAL at minute 11, because I was really precise at this minute, I was looking maybe they will take it half, with the half same amount. I think it took 22 or maybe a little bit more, so it was the halftime they took at the first game. So they were almost finishing that game, and when the replays come, when the highlights come, we will focus on that because there was a really good team fight. So for me, I think that Team Falcons are doing really good, but Team 4MERICAL, compared to my studies, they are so much better.
Feels like we didn't get enough of 4MERICAL just yet. What about you? Are you still a little undersatisfied with the way the things have kind of turned out, or no, Stafa?
I do feel like we could have seen a little bit more, right? The early game pressure that this team is known for, we didn't get to see a lot of that, and a lot of it did just come down to the performance of our MVP on the side of Team Falcons, Leo. Once again, the captain for the team, doing his job very well.
Yeah, it feels like Leo sometimes can work independently from the other 4 members of the team to get certain things done that are mandatory to allow the team to actually go through so many quick evolutions, or more so at least be on tempo for fights.
Well, look, in MENA and in Team Falcons, and I told you, the most experienced player is Leo. So he knows how to deal with certain situations that other players with, I'm gonna say, with not the same amount of experience can do. So he can be that split pusher that annoys you. He can be that utility hero player that will take that retribution battle. But again, as I told you, in his peak performances, he combines both of taking objectives and also playing that macro really good game. So Super, he has these were moments where Super and Hulk shine because they both have that synergy between each other. So right here, over and over and over again, we can see that Goodnight was getting on their nerves. He was recalling, using sheesh, and doing everything that was in his hands to play that mental game. But Leo, each time, he just comes out of nowhere, using his second skill, using that electrifying beats, and getting to the back line and getting so much kills. Look at Goodnight. He's just having fun, and he's sending a message, playing that mental game. I guess here in MPLMY there was Zorn who is playing that mental game with the recalls and also with the emos. But Yaikuru, yeah, look, it's almost 13 minutes in the game, and there was an opportunity for Team Falcons to sum it up and to take the game at a really early stage. Super and Lotrick again, Super and Lotrick at this moment, they had a double kill and they went back. They didn't die to the damage of the marksman, to Yahiko's damage from the side of Team 4MERICAL. And after doing such a bad mistake from Team Falcon, Team 4MERICAL started to punish Falcon, and that's what they deserve, because whenever you do something wrong, you have to deal with the consequences. And at this team fight, the Team 4MERICAL are the ones who face their own consequences because they chose a really bad position and they really picked up a really, really bad fight, and that's why 4MERICAL team fell down.
That's interesting, though, because I would say that, to me, the way that the game looked, it just looked very passive from 4MERICAL, right? We didn't get to see them, utilize the Divine Judgment as much as we wanted to. Lunatic Panda could have literally been in the face of Leo, and it really wouldn't have mattered, because at the end of the day, Leo is generally going to be a little more underpowered in the earlier stages of the game. Before the Genius Wand is even built, that Baxia should basically win that 1v1, pre-level 4, and sometimes even after level 4.
Yeah, you would think that there'd be more invades into the jungle, more pressure in the first couple of minutes with something like a Kaja and a Baxia. But I think what we're seeing from 4MERICAL here is a little bit of a recreation. Like it's a phase where they're trying to redefine their gameplay into a more disciplined style that's suited for the international stage, and thus are kind of starting from zero. This is no longer a playstyle they're completely familiar with, and they're trying to grow into it. There is potential, but because they're starting from the beginning again, they need more time.
Well, if Team 4MERICAL actually exchanged that Esmeralda, I know that it's a really good pick in this game, but if you add up an area crowd control hero, let's say, I cannot recall if Trizla was there up in the bands, but if you add that to this combination, it's going to be a lethal combination. Rich Guy with us is Leo once again. Lotric with the most damage dealt and the most damage taken. Don't ask me how. He is the marksman, but yet the defense he was getting from Super was superior. So Super actually at this moment, he's again the forgotten one.
The forgotten one,
I don't